Sandbox MMA fans, the UFC has a ranking problem. I don't understand what they think they're doing in this situation, and it's a theme here. I see that week in and week out, we get updates made to the rankings with just things that I don't think are correct. So we might do a video a little bit later on this month about where I think the ranking should all be. If you like that idea, let me know. I'm happy to go into it. I don't think there's too much that needs to be changed, but there are some glaring things that I would like changed that I think arguably should be changed. But, there's certain type of privilege in the UFC. They like to sometimes push their certain thought process, their narrative, just so they can get what they want. And we're going to go through a couple of those situations today. Now, what prompted me to make this video was the BMF Max Holloway beating number 2 ranked at the time, Justin Gaethje, and getting ranked at lightweight, but getting ranked at number 9. So we're going to break that down, and there are a couple of other fighters that are in spots that I don't think are as deserving, and we're going to talk about something that happened in the past as well that, I ended up being wrong anyway, but we're starting off here. We're going right to the lightweight rankings, and actually, let's start with pound for pound. How the hell is Max Holloway number 8 pound for pound, and then number 9 in lightweight? Mind you, Justin Gaethje was ranked 2 before this weekend. 2. Max Holloway beat him handily, 4 rounds to 1, but not actually because he got the knockout. So he finished him in round 5 with a crazy knockout. Justin Gaethje was ranked 3. You would think when you beat the guy that was ranked 2, you would think when you beat the guy that's ranked 2, you're going to go a spot above him, right? But no, they put him in here at 9. And why is that? That doesn't make sense to me. Because you want him to have another win before he gets to fight Makhachev, that's fine, but he can do that at 3. And he can fight Charles here at 2. To me, Max Holloway's number 3. You go Armin at 1, you go Charles at 2, because that fight was so neck and neck. And then you go Max at 3, Gaethje at 4, and then everyone just moves down one spot. That's how I would do it. I don't get what the UFC thinks they're doing here. Max won and totally outclassed Justin Gaethje, and he gets put at 9. Now, I love Justin Gaethje, one of my favorite fighters. I say that about a lot of people, but Justin Gaethje truly embodies what it means to be a UFC MMA fighter, a warrior. But why is he ranked above Holloway, 6 spots above Holloway after losing, and then you look at the pound-for-pound rankings, he's not even listed here. Poirier's not even listed here. The only lightweight that is above Max Holloway in the pound-for-pound rankings is Islam Makhachev, and rightfully so. Where's Charles? Charles is below him. Now, I agree Charles should be above him in the lightweight rankings and actually below him in pound for pound, but the fact that Max is above, his ranking is better than lightweight, he stands at 8 in pound for pound and 9 at lightweight. Like, that's where I'm just, I'm at a loss for words. I'm just appalled. I don't know what the UFC think they're doing here. Max should be the 3. I think he just got incredibly disrespected because he's sitting here at 9. Like, realistically, look at this. Max, I think, pieces up Fiziev. That would be a sick fight, by the way. But Max pieces up Fiziev. Max pieces up Chandler. Max murders Dariush. Gamrot tries to sniff his crouch, but gets tired, and Max wins the fight. Max will probably beat Poirier in the rematch. Max versus Charles would be a sick fight. Armin might be able to take Max down, but again, we'll see. Like, I just don't agree with this ranking. Let me know what you guys think. But Max isn't the only ranking that's wrong on here. We're going to go to bantamweight. And I'm sure you know where this is going. Why is this crotch-sniffing bastard, Umar Nurmagomedov, with 0 ranked wins, beating people that have to take fights on short notice, beating 35, 36-year-old men like Ronnie Barcelos, maybe 38-year-old men, sorry. And no one else, there's no one in the rankings that he beat, and he's here at 9 above Kyler Phillips, Dom Cruz, Mario Batista, Jonathan Martinez, Pedro Munoz, Ricky Simon. Do I think he's better than most of those fighters? Yeah. But why does he just get the 9 spot without having any actual impressive wins on his resume? Let alone impressive performances. He had an impressive performance over a 38-year-old Ronnie Barcelos. No one else. So Umar's getting that classic Dagestani privilege that Dana wants to push on because for some reason he wants the Dagestanis to be champion. He wants a lot of the Dagestanis to be champions. Like, Umar doesn't deserve this. And now what? You put him at 9 just so you can try and argue that he fights Corey Sandhagen? Corey Sandhagen had a fight against Umar. Umar got his chance. Umar pulled out because Umar didn't want to fight injured. Fighters fight injured all the time, and I agree if they're not, fully healthy, if it's a big opportunity for them, consider not being able to do the fight. But you don't get thrown into an immediate fight again. There are fighters that fight hurt. But Umar will never do that. He needs every scenario perfect for him. And he just gets privileged to rocket up the rankings. I think Umar has no business being at number 9 here. Put him at 15. You want to put him in the rankings? Fine, put him at 15, but he doesn't have a ranked win. He doesn't. He doesn't deserve where he is. He hasn't even been tested yet. I just don't understand what the logic is here. I get why they're doing it. I don't agree with it, and I don't know why people are okay with it. Now, there are a lot of people that are not okay with it. A lot of people are very upset by it. But just Dana and the UFC, man, making the wrong decisions here, and they're kind of spitting in the face of their fans. Because we know what we want. We know what's right. But the disrespect. Now we're going to go to heavyweight. And this is the last ranking spot I'm going to talk about today. Why the fuck is Stipe at 4? That's my only question in this. Why is he at 4? And the reason I ask that is he's 42, hasn't fought in over 3 years. His last fight was against Ngannou, who's not even in the UFC anymore, and he got sparked in round 2. Curtis Blaydes is going to fight for the interim title. And you have him at 5? Now, I'm not even going to call this the interim title. This is the title because Jon Jones will only fight an old man Stipe for his legacy, and he won't take a tough fight against Aspinall because he knows his legacy dies. And I actually don't think his legacy would die with a loss to Aspinall. It's just you're passing the torch. Aspinall's the next badass, unbelievably talented fighter. Like he just is. Stipe here at 4 is wild to me. It doesn't make sense. The UFC have a serious ranking problem. And most importantly, the biggest problem is Max Holloway at 9. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. He just beat the piss and shit out of your favorite fighter's favorite fighter, Justin Gaethje, who was ranked at 3 in the lightweight division and arguably was ranked at 2. I'm sorry, he was ranked at 2 before this weekend. Arguably had a title shot. He should have had the title shot that's coming up in June if he just waited. But no, Justin Gaethje's a badass and he wanted to put on a great fight and he wanted to be on UFC 300. So he risked and he lost. But he's forever going to be etched in legacy. Maybe not in the most positive sense after that knockout. Like he was made a highlight, sadly. His nickname is The Highlight, but he was made a highlight by Max Holloway. But he's one of the most badass men in the sport. He took an insane risk that he didn't have to take, got knocked out for it, but gave us one of the most epic moments of all time. And I will forever love Justin Gaethje before and because of that. But to have Max at 9, 5, 6 spots below Justin Gaethje, below Poirier, who just got knocked out by Gaethje, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what the UFC is trying to do here. I'm completely in disagreement with them. Stipe being at 4 is ridiculous, but you got to make the Jon Jones fight look better. I get it. Even though he's fighting for legacy, even though he's the only fighter to consistently fuck over and make the UFC look bad, but they're going to give him all the privilege in the world because he's Jon Jones. Because God forbid Jon Jones loses and you have an argument that Ngannou could have been the baddest man on the planet. The thing is, you have Tom Aspinall now. I don't think anybody's going to look... Anybody other than Ariel Helwani who hates the UFC just because they hate him, no one's going to look at Ngannou versus Aspinall and be like, Ngannou's the real baddest man. No one's going to say that. Everybody that actually knows the sport, understands the sport, that follows it, that buys the pay-per-views, that covers it, knows that Aspinall is the best of the best heavyweight. No one's going to touch him. The only guy that had a chance, I would argue, was Sergey. And Sergey got put out. Sergey wobbled him. But Sergey got put out in a minute because Tom Aspinall's fast, he's quick, he's precise, he's powerful. I just don't understand what they're doing in the rankings. And the Dagestani privilege, we can go on all day about that, but I'm going to get there once an Umar versus Sandhagen fight gets announced. Not to mention, I'm not even going to go into the Israel Adesanya stuff. These are videos that are going to come down the line. I'm just sick of... I was sick to my stomach waking up and seeing that Max Holloway was ranked 9. It's wrong. It is completely wrong. I don't get why the UFC did it, but hopefully you enjoyed this content. I'm shocked by the UFC. Please remember to like and subscribe. More content coming later this week.